This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 15855 Community Street. 15855 Community Street in North Hills, California. Performing a video waste line and sewer line inspection through the 3-inch ABS plastic waste line cleanout on the right-hand side of the house, just as you enter the gate on the right-hand side. This is going toward the back, toward the pool area. And this is our 3-inch ABS plastic waste line. We're going to zero our camera monitor out. We've got water running, so we're not going to be able to see a whole lot. We're going to try and push all the way out first, shut the water down, and then take a look at the line as we pull back. We're going to zero out our camera monitor right here, and we're going to begin pushing in. So we should push in a little bit, and then we're probably going to start getting water into the line in an inlet. We've got a hose running. Now you can see the water coming into the inlet. So we're going to keep pushing out, as I said. Try and get all the way out to the city sewer. There was another inspector that was out here and they couldn't get past an area which we believe may have been by the sidewalk, by the property line sewer. And there was fairly heavy root intrusion. And if you don't have a lot of water running, you probably won't jump over it. That appears to be vitreous clay transition right there. As I said, we're going to run in all the way, and then we'll go ahead and view the sewer line on the way back. We're going to locate it. We have some root intrusion here. Try and push past. There we go. And I think that's maybe where we were at, where the other inspector was. I think it was at about close to 50 feet. And there was root intrusion in there, but they didn't have a lot of water running, which makes it very difficult to try and get over the joints. So we got a large volume of water running, and as I said, we're just going to continue to run out, try and get all the way out to the city sewer, and then we'll track the pipe and we'll mark it as well on the way back. Looks like we may have a break there at about 80 feet. And we'll take a good look at this on the way back. And it looks like right there we may be in the city sewer. So we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area, and then we'll shut our water off, and then we'll pull back and take a look at the line. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to put our locator on, try and find this area. Okay, we're going to continue to push in now. We're going to pause and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we're in the parkway on the left-hand side of the house, where we located it 5 foot 3 inches deep. We'll take our locator off. We're going to wait for the water to come, and then we're going to start pushing out again.
Yeah.
Pull back about a foot and a half. Pull back about a foot and try and just run at it. So it'll bounce over it. Oh, I think we're in. Okay, we're gonna pull back just a little bit, and I believe that was the turn to the city sewer. It's kind of hard to tell with the water running, but we'll take a good look. I'll pull back slowly. It's hard to tell. It looks like a much larger pipe. You should be able to tell if there's a sweep that we start coming back up. And that looks like we're hanging in the city sewer right there. That is the city sewer. And this will be our saddle connection to the city sewer right there. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to try and locate this area. Okay, we located the saddle. This fitting is the homeowner's tie-in to the city sewer. And we marked it at 5 foot 10 inches deep. And we are on Densmore Street. We're on the side street. So we came out of the left side of the house and we marked it here. So we're going to begin pulling back now slowly. We'll take a look at the rest of the saddle fitting. Very important fitting. We've got a fairly large offset right there. As you can see, it's shifted and there's a big gap. Unfortunately, we can't get a really great bead on it because we're in the turn. But that's right next to where we marked at 5 foot 10 inches deep, and that is the back end of the saddle. So it shifted quite a bit. So we're going to continue to pull back. I'm going to pause for a moment. Yeah, the saddle fitting has a very large offset where you can see the full face of the pipe on the right hand side. So we're going to continue to pull back. Next fitting is not in terrible condition. Appears to be lined up fairly well. So you might be able to install a CIPP cured in place piping liner over the saddle. If the rest of the line looks good, you don't have to do anything with it. We got a little bit of concrete slag there, but that's fine. The joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And this is all the 6-inch lateral that's going out into the street from the property line sewer. And more concrete slag there, no big deal. Joints lined up nicely, no breaks, no major root intrusions. Going to continue to pull back. Okay, more concrete slag, a little tiny bit, but the joints lined up nicely. Appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We're going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well, lined up nicely. Now we're coming up. We have some more concrete slag a little bit. Hold back a little bit of water. Won't harm anything. The joint is lined up nicely again.
That's normal?
Yeah, that's normal. Just over pour of the concrete slag. The concrete is what holds the joints together.
Okay.
That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. This is our 4 to 6 inch lateral connection. We're going to go out and locate this, and we're going to put a flag So we're going to pause right there, and we're going to go ahead and locate real quick. Okay, we located this area, and this is the 4-inch by 6-inch city lateral connection. The owner does own the pipe from here to the city sewer tie-in connection as well, but this is coming back to their property sewer line, which they own as well. And we marked this area with an orange flag at 5 foot 3 inches deep in the grass area on the left-hand side of the house. So we're going to continue to pull back. Connection appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Do have little root intrusion, and that is the test tee. So there's a little tiny bit of root intrusion coming in through the top. That's right back behind where the orange flag is. And this fitting has a very large crack all the way around. So we're going to just push back in just a tiny bit, and we're going to locate and mark this area because that's a major crack all the way around, which weakens the stability and it can collapse. So we're going to pause for a moment again and mark this out. Okay, we located this fitting that has a large crack and break in several areas of the fitting. It is at 6 foot 2 inches deep on the left-hand side of the house. We marked it with an orange flag. So we're going to continue pulling back slowly. That fitting's cracked in several different directions. It can collapse very easily. We're making a turn now, and we're coming back toward the house on the left-hand side. I'm going to go back in slowly. Can sleep a little bit. Looks like some of the pigment on the vitreous clay has either chipped away or been hydrojetted possibly. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if that's a little bit of a, can't tell if it's a crack, Steve. I'll pause for a moment. This appears to be a crack on the left-hand side from about the 7 o'clock area to the 8:30 area on the camera monitor. We'll blow that up on our laptop back at the office and take a good look at that. Could also be a hairline root, but we'll look at it. That is at about 117 feet on the camera monitor. Continue to pull back. That joint has a little bit of root intrusion on the left-hand side by the 9 to 10 o'clock area, but not terrible. That can be maintained with a chemical called Root-X, R-O-O-T-X. That joint also has some minor root intrusion. Looks like this line may have been cleaned, possibly in the past with hydrojetter. That may have been what blew the aggregate off that one fitting a little bit. Cannot hydrojet too often and too hard or it will damage the piping. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. And we're going to pause right there. We're going to locate this area. Let's see. Okay, we located this area at 4 foot 4 inches deep on the left front corner of the house, going toward the back of the house. And we marked it at 4 foot 4 inches deep. It's right up against the house and with an orange flag. So we're going to take our locator off. We're going to pull back about 15 feet to about 90, unless we make a turn. If we start to make a turn, then we're going to locate there. Joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're going to push back in just a little tiny bit. Pull out a little bit, see right there. Looks like there may be a crack right inside the face of the pipe, and we're going to blow that up as well. It looks like there is a crack going all the way around the pipe, and it's kind of shifted where you could catch your finger on it if you ran your finger across it, so it is substantial. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to locate this area. See it right there? If you push back in right there.
I can't tell. It kind of looks like a root.
I don't think it's a
'Cause
root
look
that
where
would
it
go all
comes
the way
in on the
around.
top right over there.
Yeah, we'll have to blow it up and look at it. But it could be a crack. It's hard to tell. We'll look at it after. Okay, let me locate that area real quick. Let's see where I'm at.
See, the houses are, well, the prices of them, because I've been checking the houses in Palmdale. I was like, oh, they're going down because where my friend lives, they used to be 550, now they're 400,000. I was like, wow. There's like 3 of them. They just came out in the market like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, that was weird. Like a couple of months ago, they were like 550.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we bought in 2020 for 385. And our house is like 525 right now.
We bought before the pandemic,
Yeah.
right before the pandemic.
We're right in the middle of it. Yeah. But I think we got our keys October of 2020.
Yeah, the market rate was crazy though, because the interest rate was so low that everybody wanted to buy it just because of the interest rate though.
Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky because the sellers, the house or the sale, they were purchasing a house in Havasu, so it was dependent on the sale of the house, and then they knew my wife's friend, and the seller was a friend of a friend.
Small world.
So we gave an offer, and they're like, okay, done. So I think we came in 10,000 over asking, done. So we had a 45-day escrow.
That's cool.
And done. Got the keys, tore all the floor out, redid all the floor, repainted the whole place, fixed a few things, changed a few things around, and moved in.
Yeah, because like I said, there was a lot of competition. Everybody was, the houses were less than a week. Everybody was making a lot of offers. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
multiple offers. I was like, and a lot of people bought just because of the interest rate.
Yeah.
That was the only reason they bought. I was like, what?
And now it's going.
5.1. It's gonna go up again. The Fed's gonna have another meeting. I want to cool down the market.
Yeah.
Inflation's up the roof.
Yep.
Or at least gas is $5 right here, 5.05.
Doesn't help when you're coming from Lancaster, though.
Correct. You gotta get either an electric car or a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, it's. I was driving. I've got a 2017 Ram 3500
Yeah.
with a diesel motor in it. Crew cab.
Well, this is like my first time seeing diesel is more expensive than gasoline. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
you had never seen that before.
Absolutely no reason for it.
It's crazy. Yeah, when you drive that far, you gotta have a 4-cylinder or a motorcycle.
So I had a street bike, but I just sold it. Sold to one of our guys.
You kept it, man.
Yeah, my wife hates me driving. You're gonna get hit by somebody. I'm like,
Yeah.
driving for 15 years and knock on wood, I haven't been hit by anybody yet.
Gotta increase your life insurance.
That's what I told her. I said, start buying more life insurance.
Yeah.
There's a small That shed, that little shed with a little sink in it, it's right in between that and the retaining wall at 4 foot 2 inches deep. So it's coming back this way. Let's see where it goes. Okay, we located this area, and it is between the small room that is at the far left-hand corner of the house. It's a little shed or a little room with a sink in it. And we located this area in between that shed and the block retaining wall at 4 foot 2 inches deep, and we marked it with a red crayon. And now we're going to continue to pull back, and we'll take a look at that joint after at about 90 feet. Coming back to the next joint, and we have another large break right here, as you can see from about the 7 o'clock area going back up toward the probably 1 o'clock area. We're going to locate this and mark it out.
Rigid.
And we're going to pause again for a moment. Okay, we located this area, and is right back behind that little room with the sink in it, that little shed on the far left-hand corner of the house. We're right outside in between the shed and the block wall. We marked it at 4 foot 8 inches deep with red crayon. And we're going to continue to pull back. I believe we're going to be making a turn here pretty soon. And that's cracked pretty much all the way around. And there's not much stability in that joint. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Now we're making our turn. And you see right here, that's a break.
Yep.
And there's also a break in this joint right here. It's a break in the fitting. So we're going to pause right there, and we're going to locate this area as well. Okay, we located this fitting and where the break is. It's inside that small room at the far left corner of the house that has the sink in it. And we marked it out at 4 foot 11 inches deep. So we're going to continue to pull back now. Check the rest of the joints. And that's the actual joint. It's got a pretty big offset there too on the left hand side. But not drastic, it doesn't matter. That fitting's got to be replaced. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Go back there. A tiny bit. That's okay. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We're just going to say fair and maintainable if it's in fair and maintainable condition. That joint's got a little minor offset, not terrible. It's still in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint's in fair and maintainable. That joint's fair and maintainable. That joint's fair and maintainable. We're going to pause right there at that joint. We're going to locate this area just to get a beat on where we're heading. Okay, we located this area. Just wanted to get a beat on it, and we will be going through the sunroom. It's going to cut straight through there. So we're going to continue to pull back.
Not right now, though. Keep me, yeah, she's texting her.
Okay.
So I was waiting for you and
Cool. Mine too. I'll talk to you about
That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition.
Not your dog, A lot of money in the line.
Gotcha, sure.
What do you think?
That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint's got a fairly large separation at the bottom. You can see there's kind of rocks in the bottom and all that. We're just going to locate that area real quick. Okay, just double check this. We are going right underneath the sunroom right now. Going to continue to pull back. We do have a little separation in that joint. Going to continue pulling back. And looks like we have some large root intrusion right here. Yeah, we have large root intrusion. We're going to pause. We're going to locate this area. Separation. We're going to push back out to the separation. We're going to mark both these areas since we're going to have to do something right here. We're going to pause right there. We're going to mark that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pull back and mark the other area. So we're going to pause. Okay, we're going to leave the recording on. We're going to mark this separation. Here we go.
Until they tried to clean up the property before.
Oh, really?
They just, yeah. They tried at least.
Is that normal, that pipe that goes outside? That's not common. It has to go under, right?
That's called getting rid of.
Yeah, but everything's original. You can put back, you said.
Okay, we're going to pull back to the root intrusion so we can mark this area.
See, that's water.
Pause right there.
Okay, we located these two areas. Where the large separation was 2 foot 5 inches deep, And where the root intrusion is right here is 2 foot 4 inches deep. We marked both areas with blue tape and wrote on the blue tape, and this is in the sunroom. So we're going to continue pulling back now. Have pretty large root intrusion right there. You were holding water
Yeah, I noticed it.
from the root intrusion. So we're going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Push back in a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. Just want to double check that joint. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint's got a little separation, little root intrusion in there on the right hand side as well. Next joint has root intrusion on both sides, small amount. Still appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And we have another joint back a little ways. And that's a transition from vitreous clay. We're going to push back out to that vitreous clay to ABS plastic, and we're going to locate and mark that area. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we located this area in the sunroom at 1 foot 11 inches deep. It's toward the right corner of the sunroom as you're looking at the house from the front. So it's 1 foot 11 inches deep, and we marked it with blue tape. Now we're coming back into the house and turning. And again, we're in ABS plastic pipe and fittings underneath the slab. Coming back.
Yeah.
The ABS plastic pipe and fittings so far appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. Coming back toward our 3-inch waistline cleanout. Where the sunroom was, that was the outside at one time. That's why it transitions to clay, but they built the sunroom over it. Shouldn't have a structure over clay piping, but as I said, at one time it was outside, and I don't know if it's deemed an actual addition. All the joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. Pulling back to our 3-inch ABS plastic waistline, and we will be completing our video waistline and sewer line inspection. Thank you.